Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome to another of my usual posts and podcasts. For who doesn't know me, my name is Stefanos Koroneos, and I am the artistic and general director of Teatro Grattacielo and Camerata Bardi Vocal Academy. Today, I am joined by a lot of talent, and it's not all about singers and all about roles and all about preparation, but mostly it's about coming together at the Phoenicia Festival of the Voice this summer from August 27 to 29, where in the beautiful location of Phoenicia, uh, Teatro Grattacielo will be presenting Amico Fritz. Phoenicia International Festival of the Voice will be presenting Pagliacci, and New York City Opera will be presenting Rigoletto. Today I have with me Erin Brooks. We have three tenors, not one, not two, but three tenors, which is joy of the joys. This is like a rarity. We have it for you. The first one is Erin Brooks, who will be singing Canio in Pagliacci. The second one is Diego Valdez, who will be Teatro Grattacielo's Fritz Cobus. And the third one is David Santiago, who will be singing the beautiful role of Federico. Together with me today also, Marcelina Baucher, I hope I'm saying that right. Then you will correct me by Marcelina, who will be singing Neda, and Madison Marie Mcintosh, our mezzo soprano, who will be singing Beppe. So I don't want to go on talking about myself, because today it's all about singers and about the festival, and I will bring in the very first guest, which is Erin Brooks. Hello, Erin. Welcome, and thank you for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Erin, you should know that we cannot see you, but we can hear you. Um, it's totally okay if you don't want to be on camera. Um, but be-
No, my camera's on. I just don't know.
it's okay. No worries. No worries. It's not a big deal. As long as we
Okay.
can hear you, we are good to go. So, Erin, before we start talking
Okay.
about Canio, can you tell me a little bit? And this is something that has always fascinated me. How did you become an opera singer? What prompted you?
Um,
That
well, I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and my siblings and I grew up singing in the church, in a Baptist church, and I've always been affiliated with music. My paternal grandfather um, had a band, and he was also he played for a lot of famous groups around Detroit and the central Midwest United States. I think around high school, which was the first time I sang outside church, my mother put me in choir, well against my wishes.
Hmm,
But that turned out to be the best thing she could have done for me, because now I'm making a living off that.
absolutely.
We laugh about that all the time. Yeah, and so my teacher there, the late Dr. Alice Lloyd, she introduced me to a world of classical music, a world I never knew. And then when I got into college, I got more into music theater and also opera. And the plan was to do both, but opera just called to me. It was calling to me a little more.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's been a beautiful relationship ever since, really.
Fantastic. I love it. I everybody has. I have been asking this question for a long time to a lot of people, and I love to hear the answers, because they're so diverse and so exciting to hear how a person has decided to do something so difficult as being an opera singer. Let's be honest, this is a very difficult work that
Oh, yes, it
requires,
is.
yeah, and requires a lot of
Yeah,
commitment, right?
Yeah, and with my background in music and football, that that taught me a lot of discipline. That taught me about commitment and really buckling down and really focusing. Yeah, I got a lot of my focus from classical music and sports. So yeah, you're absolutely correct on that.
I first of all, I have to say publicly that I'm a very big fan of yours. And we have bumped each other in the past, and I'm looking forward to see you up there in Phoenicia. For the record, I will be staying. We are opening the festival on Friday night, but I'm staying all the weekend. I have gotten passes and a bed and breakfast because I'm staying. I want to see each all of you, and each of you. I hear you festival. And obviously, Pagliacci, the main and the most important role in Pagliacci is Canio. Can you tell me and tell us a little bit about your relationship with this role?
Well, the role of Canio, it's very demanding, both vocally and physically. And the best way to approach it is with a more lyrical approach, because the dramatics it's going to come out. But if you're connected with your body, the role isn't as taxing as it could be. I mean, it is a taxing role, but there's a lot of technique and connection that is involved with it. And it's actually one of my favorite roles to sing. So I'm actually very honored and privileged to have this opportunity.
And this is your production number of this role?
Oh, this is my second time. This will be number 2. I did it previously with Bohème Opera New Jersey.
Yeah, I by the way, I saw the other day the concert that you had with Jeremy Browner, and who was our Loris last year in Fedora. Congratulations, it was wonderful. I have been able to follow. And Erin, I really want to thank you for being with us. I'm looking forward. I will be there August 28th, and
Yes,
I will be able to really enjoy you. Thank you so much, Erin.
Oh, thank you. You have a great one. Thank you so much.
You too. You too. Ciao, ciao, ciao. So, ladies and gentlemen, my second guest, Oh Joy of Joys, is connecting with us from Europe, and I think I'm sure it's very late wherever she is. It would be great that we have her here, and then if she chooses to leave us, she can go and sleep. Hello, Marcelina.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening.
Good afternoon, Marcelina. First of all, tell me something. Did I say your last name right? Baucher?
It's Boucher, almost.
Boucher. Okay. I went the German way. I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem. Everything's fine.
Where are you right now?
So I live in Barcelona, but for this weekend, I made a trip with my husband to Sardinia.
Oh,
it's very beautiful.
Where in Sardinia? Where in Sardinia?
Oh, please. Exactly. We are basically on the north of the island.
Okay.
Mostly.
I'm Greek. I mean, the name says it all. But I grew up in Italy, and one of my favorite places to go always was Sardinia. So I enjoyed everything about it, and I'm sure you are enjoying it too. Can you, for people who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit where do you come from?
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, hello, my name is Martina Boucher and I am Polish soprano.
Fantastic.
As I said, living in Barcelona, but I am freelancing singing, and since I was a young person, I was very connected to the music. because of my family. My dad is a contrabass player in orchestra. My grandmother was opera singer. Mother is opera singer. And yeah, here I am. Of course, half of my life being a rebel as a teenager, I was saying I will never do anything in music. So don't force me. And, you know, what can I say now?
Listen, okay, so here comes to me naturally to ask you, okay, you refused for a long time to be involved in music, and then what happened?
And then what happened, you know, very, very strange thing happened. Like as a kid, I was playing cello. Then, of course, I also, as a rebel, I said to my parents, no cello. And then being 20 years old, so quite late, I was riding horses. And I said to myself, I want to do something in my life which will give me this adrenaline, which will give me, like, I can use my passion. I love music, but I didn't know I have a voice. I knew I was in a choir, I was singing, but this is a little bit bigger thing you have to put effort in. So then that was really hard moment when I realized, singing in the rock band, that basically I like to use this kind of operatic sound. And my mom said to me, you have to a little bit control what are you doing. Let's have a lesson. And yeah, that was difficult to just say, like, okay, one lesson, we can try. And then I said, it's really interesting. It's so, I'm just passionate about that. I love it. And having a job, which is your hobby, I think it's the best. So, my mom waited for like 21 years so that I will be finally opera singer, but I think she's happy with that.
Fantastic. You said something very important. You said that having a job that's a hobby, it's the best thing ever, because you wake up in the morning, right? And you're in a good mood and you're looking forward to go and have another day of studying, of committing, or of auditioning, or of whatever. And I mean, you are in a good company here, and probably also Luis. We are not, committed into singing anymore. We are on the other side of the table, but it is absolutely a pleasure to be an opera singer. So let me ask you, Marcelina, is it your first Nedda?
It is my first Nedda. Dream role.
Listen, it's an amazing role. It's in so many aspects, and it's not only the aria, la commedia at the end. It just such a deep role, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Also psychologically role. Her relationship with all the partners, with the husband, with the lover, with the sort of friends. It's really great to play, not only to sing. And the colors that you have to find in your voice for this role are also very interesting. And I really love. I feel this role as like very good full lyric singing. Yeah.
Without putting you on the spot, how do you approach the preparation for this role?
For this role, basically that is also to my other roles that I'm preparing. First of all, I'm checking the score. If to just see the notes, to check how big is the size of the role, what is the tessiture, what instruments are doubling me, what kind of the phrases I have, what I have to be focused more on, also language. And then when I go through that, I start to practice with the pianist. I have to tell you that being cellist before, it's helping a lot to read the role. So I go directly to reading that with a pianist. And then when I know the role, when I really know what my partners are saying, what they are singing to me, this is very luckily when you can work with a pianist or coach who really knows all the roles. Because normally you prepare it yourself and then you go to the theater to have rehearsals with the cast, no? And then at the end, I'm listening to great recordings. That's how I do it.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it. And I have a personal curiosity before I pass to our next guest. Why did you choose Barcelona to live? If you can share.
Why? Beautiful, sunny, full of art,
I
music,
know. I was.
very good connected airport. No, it's a great place to live, really.
I was hoping that you're going to say that. I mean, the food, the tapas, the sun, the people. Mediterranean. Let's be honest. I mean, I'm from Greece, so I can tell you that countries, yes, they are beautiful. Marcelina, I cannot wait to hear you. Like I said, and I'm going to say this one more time for the record. I'm staying all the weekend. I have just booked my Airbnb, and I'm staying there, and I cannot wait to hear you and to get to know you in person.
Oh, I also cannot wait.
Thank you so much.
So much for a great time and interview.
Thank you so much, Marcelina. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Marcelina Baucher. My mistake at the beginning, and I apologize for this. So, next guest, I think we should hear from somebody from Teatro Grattacielo, from my company, and I think that I would like to bring in Diego Valdez, tenor Diego Valdez, who will be singing with us the title role of Fritz Cobb's.
Yes, L'Amico.
L'Amico Fritz. So Diego, obviously, I know you pretty well. I can say with confidence that we have known each other a lot, and I have followed your path. But for who today doesn't know you and doesn't know who you are, can you tell us how did you decide to become an opera singer?
Okay, well, I'm Diego Valdez. I did not start out music by singing. I actually played guitar from the age of like 10, and I always thought singing was weird until I had to do it for a band that I was putting together with my friends, which never really got serious. But somebody heard that I was singing, and she's like, maybe you should join choir, because we don't have men as per typical in high school in America. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll try it. Like, I don't have to go to class. I'll just go after school. And then I was like, I kind of fell in love with the classical music in general, because I hadn't really ventured too deep into it outside of classical guitar. And then the following year, I decided to join choir, and that was the first year my school got to do any sort of like production. So we did Pirates of Penzance, and just the community and the fun of putting that all together and just hanging out with like some of your closest friends and putting on a show and being silly on stage for that particular show. That was enough to get me hooked. And here I am.
Fantastic. And it is very interesting to hear. It is very interesting to hear your story and to put, and because I know your voice and I know your artistry, now more than ever, I would like to hear you singing finally the whole role of Fritz particular production, because the production that we have built for Phoenicia Festival of the Voice, but also for our main performances in New York City in November, are a mix of technology, pre-made videos, live feed, and acting and singing, obviously. And we have invited a very celebrated Argentinian artist. Her name is Guadalupe Marin, known as Lupe, who has created, and I'm very proud to share just a screenshot of this. There it is. Some very beautiful artwork for us, like this, and which is going to be combined together with live feed, and we will be able to create a story that travels from those videos to the live feed, to you guys singing, and obviously to the music, which is the ultimate goal. I don't need to ask you if this is your first Fritz, because I know the answer. It is your first Fritz.
Yes. Yeah. I'd never heard it outside of the aria. outside of Fritz's aria before Grattacielo and Camerata Bardi. And I mean, you just fall in love with this kind of music. It's such a beautiful score, and that it's kind of a shame that it's not done more often. But I guess that's what you do. Teatro Grattacielo is known for.
Yeah, right. It is. So, can you tell us a little bit about Fritz? Anything you want to share with us?
Well, he's I mean, there's not. I mean, Mascagni's challenge with this score was that he wanted to show that he could write beautiful music and not just rely on drama.
Right.
So Fritz Kobus, hedonist, never wants to marry until he meets Suzel, who works for one of his tenants. Basically, he's the owner of a vineyard, and just very well off. Very likes to have fun. He makes sure that everybody's taken care of. He's a very kind person. He's l'amico. And then this is kind of the last piece, him surrendering his walls against being in love, being, I guess, hitched to someone. He never thought about it beforehand, and you kind of get to see the evolution along with Suzel's evolution. It's like a maturing and like on two different spectrums, like maturing as a young person and maturing as in kind of an emotional capacity that I'm sure a lot of people can relate to.
Right. Yeah. And you know, Fritz, the part of Fritz is a part full of melody. It's exactly for that reason, said, because to make a point, wanted to make sure that people know that he can write drama, but together with drama, he can also deliver. And I think something is happening with your camera.
Yeah,
it's okay, no worries. Together with drama, also he can write incredibly good melodies, and he accomplished that really in a great way.
Absolutely.
Diego, thank you for being with us. I will be seeing you next week in our first musical rehearsal.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And thank you for being with us. And my next guest is a person that I am getting to know right now, and I'm getting to appreciate a lot in so many ways. He's incredible. He had a brilliant career. I have to confess, this is obviously Luis Otey, Artistic Director of Phoenicia Festival of the Voice. Hello, Luis. Luis, I have to tell you something. You know, I used to listen as a young singer. Not that I'm suggesting that you're old. I used to
older, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you look amazing. I used to listen to your recordings, and I used to listen to you on YouTube. And there you are running an incredible festival. And from you, and I asked you to come in today because it has always fascinated me, and I was wondering for a long time, how did you guys come up with the idea of creating a festival which is very innovative and very creative in the same time?
The initial impetus was there was another. So at the time, I was splitting my time between the Met, and we found this house in upstate New York in the Catskills, and there was another opera singer that lived in town, and he had kids, and so he was out on the playground where we do the festival now. And these mothers were saying, this playground equipment is terrible. We need some new playground equipment. And he said, well, we can do an opera concert and raise money for the festival, for the playground equipment. So we did this concert. Nobody in Phoenicia or in the area had really heard opera very much. And 500 people showed up in the rain. And afterwards, people were saying, when are you going to do it again? My 5-year-old sat still and listened to opera. You got to do it again. So we said, well, I mean, because I'd done the Met in the parks, and you know, with the vast expanse of lawn and grass, and this park has a mountain on one side. We said this is a perfect place to do a festival, and sort of in the style of Spoleto. There were churches, and there's a little small theater there, and there are other venues where we can do chamber music, where we can do plays, where we can do. And so it just seemed like a logical evolution to turn it into a festival. And here we are 12 years later.
Amazing. No. You guys had the. I was, first of all, I was very excited when I got the phone call from your wife, Maria, and it was just exciting because I think that this is the right way to go in the future. Collaborations, helping each other, and
Yes.
getting together to create incredible music. What's best
Completely.
than that?
It's really, some people have said we sort of developed a new style of arts management. In other words, we started from the ground up. We started from the town, the volunteers, the people. We didn't start out with big grants and, one or two very wealthy people who gave us lots of money. We started with nickels and dimes and all of this kind of thing. And we built it from the ground up with the town, with the area, with the participation of, the town of Phoenicia has 350 inhabitants, and we have almost 200 volunteers that come every year to help us with everything from cleaning to putting up banners to directing traffic to whatever it is that's needed. So we really depend on the community, and we're very grateful to them for their support.
Amazing, and you guys have done an incredible work. And I woke up this morning and I felt the urge to book myself for the whole weekend an Airbnb and invite a couple of friends to stay with me.
Right.
And my partner, and we are staying up there exactly because we want to breathe music and we want to breathe this sense of community
Yes.
that you guys have created. And honestly, I cannot wait to see all of you and to be able to finally spend some time not on the computer but actually in person.
Right. Yeah. And we're so excited to have you and to have this amazing piece, and what Teatro Grattacielo has done and what you are doing with the company now is just amazing. And this company is going to go on and on and on. And congratulations and to you for doing such an amazing job.
Thank you so much. And hopefully this is just the beginning of many, many, many beautiful collaborations.
We hope so too, Stefanos.
I feel very close to all of you, and thank you so much for being with us. I will move on to my next guest, which is, I have two guests. They are very special to me, both of them. I love them for different reasons, but I do love them both, and artistically, also in person. My first guest will be, given that we have two gentlemen now, let's have a lady, is Madison Marie Mcintosh, mezzo soprano, to be singing with Teatro Grattacielo the role of Beppe.
Hello, Stefanos. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much for being with me. And I see some plantation shutters on the back, and so I'm guessing that you are in Florida?
I'm in Florida, yes.
Fantastic.
I'll be leaving tomorrow for New York for our musical rehearsal.
Absolutely. Thank you for doing this trip, and I cannot wait to have all of you in person. And where do you live in Florida?
West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach. Okay, fantastic.
And I have a place in New York too, so
Right,
I'm flexible and I go back and forth.
Yeah, I actually love your city so much. I was there a long time ago. I sang as a singer in a Tosca production with the Palm Beach Opera, and I just loved going around. I love the center. I loved the area around the theater. Good for you. Wonderful. So, Madison, I'm going to ask you exactly the same thing that I asked everybody else. What happened that made you one day, waking up and saying, okay, I will be an opera singer?
Well, my parents joked that I was singing even before I was talking, which is saying something because I was a very chatty, social kid from an early age. But my parents would play music of various genres around the house, everything from the Beatles to opera. And if I would be watching on television, for example, a PBS special on Pavarotti or Beverly Sills, I would watch it enthralled. And if one of my parents would try to change the channel, I would scream because I wanted to keep hearing the opera. And by the time when I was in kindergarten, I was attempting to imitate operatic voices. Every morning when my classmates and I would sing the national anthem together, I would sing in my so-called opera voice, much to the consternation of my classmates. And at recess every day, I would go behind a tree and sing as if that would prevent other people from hearing me. And then when I was in third grade, I auditioned for a play, a school play, and the school's music director somehow got in touch with my parents and asked them whether they knew that I had a voice for singing. And my parents, who were very, very supportive of me, but were not trained musicians, said, well, we knew she was loud. And basically, the rest is history, so to speak. It's something that I did for fun, singing, evolved into this enormous burning passion that I have.
Fantastic. I want to say to everybody who's listening that part of the mission of Teatro Grattacielo is supporting young artists. This is very important it was very important to the old artistic Prince, who, by the way, lives in West Palm Beach now. And Dwayne, if you are listening, hello, I'm sending you my love. And obviously, we are very, very, very excited to have you with us and to promote your talent and your singing in this role that I'm guessing you're singing for the first time, right?
Yes, this is my first Pepe.
Can you tell us a little bit about the role of Beppe?
Definitely. I love the role. Well, first of all, for our listeners who don't know much about L'Amico Fritz, Beppe is a pants role. He's a young man, and he has a very big heart, and he's very, very loyal. Fritz is a generous and affluent man who took in Beppe and other orphaned children who have no homes. And Beppe is a gypsy, and he shows his appreciation to Fritz every single day by coming by and saying hello and singing and playing the violin for Fritz and his friends. And he's just a really, really nice guy who's there for Fritz and supportive of him when he's down in the dumps. He tries to cheer him up. And I really love the character.
Yes, I totally agree with you, and I want to add to that it is very interesting that in this opera there are two communities that they coexist in harmony, and this is one of the oldest Jewish communities in Europe, the Alsaces, and exactly gypsies who were used to live together close by, and they used to actually historically get along pretty well. So this is another thing that kind of prompted me to choose this opera this year, is the universal message of love, of acceptance, and of happy coexistence in between just people, which is, I guess, a very a strong message to the world throughout the music and throughout opera. Madison, thank you so much for being with me. It has been an absolute pleasure. I wanted to invite everybody to come to see you and to hear you in Phoenicia, and I will be seeing you next week in New York City.
Thank you very much, Stefanos. I'm looking forward.
Thank you. Ciao.
Ciao.
And last but not least, oh joy of joys, my friend and partner in crime in a lot of things, and that is not the right place to share, tenor David Santiago, who will be singing one of the character roles in this opera, which is the role of Federico. I want to say to everybody who doesn't know David is one uber talented people who has been able to combine a very successful career as an interior designer, and you can see this on the back of his wall. Most of the things that you see on the back are his creations, together with being a musician, an opera singer, and many, many other things. Welcome, David.
Thank you, Stefanos. It's wonderful to be here. Finally.
Okay. Before we start talking about you, I want that bow tie. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I love it.
It's making a Teatro Grattacielo debut.
Absolutely. Bring it on.
Designed by my partner and art director, Ricardo Monet. He's like, I was trying to figure out what bow tie to wear for the podcast because, for those that don't know me, I love bow ties, and we chose black and white, classic and timeless.
Amazing. And next time I'm seeing you, which is next week, I want you to teach me how to tie a bow tie, which I don't know, because I love them and I would like to start using them. Okay. And actually I have a few, but I have never been able to put them on exactly because I have never been able to figure it out. So David, same question that I asked everybody. What happened that made you want to be an opera singer?
What happened? So I come to music from theater. I was studying acting at HB Studio, and that led me to ending up doing musicals, one of which was Wild Bill Hickok in Calamity Jane. And the music director of the play, who gave me an opportunity to sing, I wasn't formally trained or anything. I sang in church. Mm-hmm. And I had some talent, but I wasn't formally trained. After we did the show, she said, you've got a voice, you've got the look, you've got the movement. I think you should go for being a triple threat. And I started out just wanting to study voice and music. And through that endeavor, I was introduced to the 24 Italian songs and arias, which is a singer's Bible. And I ended up studying that way. And I prepared to audition for Madison Conservatory of Music, and I got a scholarship. And that's where I really fell in love with opera and art song. I began singing, not knowing the world of opera the way that I know it today, and grew up listening to the three tenors and Placido Domingo and Jose Carreras and Pavarotti. And they were really the icons that just made me fall in love with opera. And then slowly thereafter, I developed an insatiable appetite for a vast repertoire, and I couldn't get enough. Earlier, we heard about Beverly Sills and, all of those singers at Pavarotti, Fritz Wunderlich, Jussi Björling, Corelli, Tebaldi, Scotto. I can go on and on and on.
Right.
And I started collecting opera as well.
Mm-hmm. Very, 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 very interesting. People don't realize, especially people who they didn't have a big approach to the opera world, how difficult and how complicated it is to sing side roles, character roles. And I'm saying this from my experience because guess what? I have done a career out of them. That's what I did for a very, very, very long time, both for and character roles. And this brings me to what I wanted to ask you. How do you feel about Federico? What can you tell us about this very fascinating role?
Federico is a very good friend of Fritz. And, there's a sensibility that they get along really well. They like to party. There's a certain confidence in their friendship as well. And it's, like you said, it's a close-knit community as well. I often think of the guys or the friends from La Boheme, all the guys and this camaraderie. And that's how I see Federico. And, he navigates through the whole opera. He's a constant figure in ebbs and flow through Act 1 and Act 2 and Act 3. It's the music is it's a great, nice tessitura. There's nothing taxing about it, but the longevity of being on stage and with the characters as well is also an attractive thing about Federico. And Mascagni just gives you a great palette from music and scenery and story. No tragic ending as well, either in this opera.
Yeah, and in a way, it puts your acting preparation into an action, because these roles they rely obviously on the voice, on the delivery of the word, but also on the delivery on acting.
Absolutely. And sometimes with roles like this, even when you're not speaking, but your presence is there, sometimes in the silence is some of the drama as well. So yes.
So now you know why I casted you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I wanted your personality.
You'll get it.
I wanted that personality on the stage all the time. Because guess what? You will be obviously on the stage a long time throughout the personality. And last but not least, something that has probably a lot of people curious about: how do you combine the two parts of your life? The interior design, which is you are very successful, let's be honest, and your passion about opera and your singing career.
I think one of the things that has been beneficial to me in this life of duality, and it has ebbed and flowed throughout the years, when I decided to launch my own company and be able to, orchestrate my scope of work and also keep my singing career proactive, it allowed me to be able to ebb and flow, pick and choose concert, stage work, how often I would put myself out there to audition and try to keep this sensibility of continuity. Some years more than others, depending on what came my way. If it was a concert or opera, certainly that requires a lot more time and commitment. So that's how I've been able to do it, working for myself. In the beginning, when I worked for other companies, it wasn't always the case. I'd always have to challenge, and I was challenged about picking my career or my passion, and I was confronted that way. And I said, don't make me choose, because I'm going to choose passion, because luckily I've never had a problem finding work in the interior design world. And now that I work for myself, it's a wonderful thing to be able to lean finally on my professional singing career and let it grow and blossom and embrace what's coming my way. And working with Teatro Grattacielo has been life-changing for me, from my ventures with Camerata Bardi to performing it this summer, and this wonderful journey that we're on, living the dream.
Excellent. I'm so happy to hear all of this. And I thank you for spending all this time with us. Thank you, David. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that I want to invite all of you to get your tickets, come to see L'Amico Fritz, come to see Pagliacci and Rigoletto the weekend of August 27th, which is a Friday, Saturday 28th, and Sunday 29th. And I will bring in for a last hello all my beautiful guests. Thank you again for being with us. And Marcelina, there you are. Thank you. It has been an absolute pleasure. And I cannot wait to all see you all in August on the mountains of Catskills in New York.
It's so good to see everyone.
Yeah.
Ciao, y'all.
Bye.
See you on Tuesday, rehearsal.
Yeah, see you there.
See you soon.
Safe travels, Madison.